will be with us a little bit later on. Special guest.
Did find out that it's Johnny Cash that was the Hey Porter, I believe.
Is that who it was?
Yeah. So we need, this station is famous for jingles. We need a jingle writer. Hey Parker, will you tell us to score? That would be a good one instead of the time there. We welcome in Chris Parker of the Ozone. Good morning, Parker.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
Oh, getting ready for a busy week. Lots of stuff going on.
Absolutely, and that's what we brought you on to talk about. I know that we touched on it briefly with state golf. I guess everywhere at the state, at Class 1 here at River Cup, but everywhere else is out around the state. Are you guys, how are you covering that with the Ozone?
We probably won't be in person anywhere this week. All the ones in Columbia and Sedalia, mid-Missouri, they're in weather delay right now. That's Class 3, 4, 5. We'll have posts on the website, but probably not a ton of in-person coverage, with most of it being in the outlying areas, and we have so much else to, really get locked in on too.
And I'm trying to remember how Misha handles golf with weather, whether they can cancel around and make it a one-day tournament. Have you seen that happen in the past, or has this been an occurrence? Yeah,
it's happened within the last 5 years. They canceled round 2, so the round 1 score stood for a couple classes. So yeah, they'll knock out a round if they have to.
Yeah, and of course, our leading favorites in that, it was kind of surprising. I went out and watched the Class 5 out at Stewart last week, and it was Jeff City Helias and Summit Christian in reverse order there that grabbed the 2 team scores. Is there not somewhere else for them to go besides come down here?
I mean, at that level, no. They do their math and they draw them up, and that's how it comes out. And yeah, as for favorites, talk to me after today, and I'll let you know, because it's golf. We saw over the weekend with the PGA that anybody can get hot the right time, and so really anybody could come up and have a real shot.
And it's not like, say, the Catholic girls, where there's just a dominant local team this year, is there? I mean, you've had Kickapoo boys. They're not going as a team. Nixa boys, they're not going as a team. Both have individuals up there. Do we have a team threat in any of the classes?
It's tough to say. We don't have that dominant big class team, but we had a couple district champions that always gives you a shot. And again, really, it just comes down to how you play on the day. We've seen it more, like you see it in golf at every single level. Somebody gets hot, somebody hits their putts, and they're in contention. So it's just really tough to predict, especially a high school golf tournament, to be honest with you.
Bring us up to speed on where we are with softball.
With softball, we are quarterfinal time.
Okay.
Those quarterfinals are tomorrow. Purdy at Lockwood. That's a really good matchup there. Purdy's pitcher, Gabriella Grumer, recorded her 1,000th career strikeout in the district championship game. So that's a pretty impressive thing to average 250 strikeouts a year for 4 years. So that would be a really good pitch. Huh?
Is that a
record?
No,
it's not a record. The record's, I think, over like 1,100. Wow. But still really good. And then Plato also is in Class 1, and then in Class 2, we are locally in the viewing area guaranteed 2 finalists, with Houston playing Thayer head-to-head and Clever playing Mount Vernon head-to-head. And then Skyline is heavily favored against Lone Jack to potentially give us 3 teams in the to give us 3 local teams in the Final Four, which would be pretty cool. And if Mount Vernon and Skyline win, it's going to be 1 versus 2 in a state semifinal. So there's really a lot to look forward to there at the Class 2 level.
Chris, in regards to the young lady from Purdy who had the 1,000 career strikeouts, college product?
I haven't heard. She easily could, I'm sure, but I've not heard what her college decision is.
So the semis, it looks like, are on Memorial Day, correct?
That is correct.
On Monday? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that odd, or is that typically the way it runs?
They typically play on a Monday. It's only odd these last 2 years because the way Memorial Day falls on the calendar.
Okay, so Monday, Tuesday next week, and that all wraps up. And is that at Killian?
Yep, all at Killian. So out there on the turf this year, back after I think 2. We had a spring and a fall at Metter, but now we're back at Killian.
And is that something that Springfield you see keeping for years and years because of the facility and because it's been so well run here in town?
Yeah, I do. I can't imagine there's very many facilities across the state that have the satellite fields along with a stadium field all on the same property. So that really, I think, sets it apart with plenty of places for the teams to warm up. You can play simultaneous games, and then you have a nice stadium field right there on property to host your championship and third place games.
Very well. What about the girls soccer? Where are we on that?
Girls soccer, you got some of the districts got going on Saturday, but really this week you'll get going. I think we'll have 3 district championships this week for classes 1, 2, 3, and class 4 will have their district championship next week. The big highlight, obviously, is going to be class 2, district 5. Springfield Catholic, Logan-Rogersville look to be on a collision course with each other. Played a instant classic game, and whoever wins that district has a real shot to win state. And that is on the 21st. That championship, the 21st at 5 p.m. out at Logan-Rogersville. So circle that one on your calendar.
And Chris, last week you told us about the tennis competition out at the Cooper Tennis Complex. It was individuals first and then team second. Where are we now?
Individuals finished up. We had a few all-state finishers across the classes. In class 3, Joseph Coder from Kickapoo. He earned class 3 5th place or a 6th place finish, so he was a really good finisher there. Class 2, we actually had both the third place singles entrants with Branson and Willard playing there. Benjamin Merrifield came out on top of Cooper Shipman, taking 3rd in class 2, with the 11 doubles group taking 8th overall. And then our best finisher was Han So from Greenwood, took 2nd in the individual competition. And then Greenwood and Bollinger faced off in the 3rd place match in class 1 with Colton Ingold and Rich McAfee taking 3rd in that one.
Now, is it team this weekend?
The team goes this weekend, starting on Thursday, I believe. So I don't think we have any class 2 or 3 teams, but Bolivar is undefeated coming into this tournament in class 1.
Track and field, small schools, are they Thursday, Friday? Give me the rundown on, because we just finished big school districts, correct?
Yes, big and then small school sectional. So
okay,
Nixa this weekend hosted a district and a class 1 sectional. So this weekend I'll be up in Jefferson City Friday, Saturday for small class, and then the big classes will be going to Waynesville for their sectional.
Okay, and then the big schools the next weekend at Jeff City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why has Jeff City forever been the host of state track? Is it the facilities? Is it just the tradition of it? What would you say on that?
It's the location. They like to keep it in the middle of the state, and they've stated that before. With same with wrestling, with the individual sports where you have kids coming from every single corner of the state. They try to keep it as centrally located as possible, and there's really no colleges no longer have track around their football fields, so you pretty much have to go to a high school in this day and age to get the seating you need for that meet.
Would JFK be the only local facility probably equipped to handle that if they moved it ever out of Jeff City?
JFK and Nixa could both do it.
Could they?
Yeah, they would both be capable, but I just don't see that one moving. Out of Central Missouri. Mission's always been again about keeping it a centrally located one for those individual things as much as they can.
Any surprises out of the large school districts over the weekend?
No, everybody chills kind of at these meets. Gage Hale versus Cam Miller, that was a really good 100-meter dash matchup. Gage Hale just got him by a 4,000th of a second in the 100, and then Hale also is won the 200 and the 400. A really good runner there, but again, it's not a surprise because we expected it, and they both got out very easily, and I expect them to both get out very easily. Webb City's Loudon Bollinger threw at 65 feet for the shot put this week, which is the 12th longest throw in the nation. So he's really come on. And then Hayden Mays won the discus out there, so they kind of split the throws out of the Nixa district.
Is the Webb City kid a senior?
No, he's only a junior.
Junior,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
So
if you remember before Jackson Cantwell, the state record used to be right around 65 feet. So he's doing something that outside of Jackson Cantwell, really nobody else has done in this state. But we're just with Cantwell's 76, 77 feet throws, we don't appreciate a lot how great 65 really is.
I was going to say, we need to come up with, if we've got BC, we need to come up with AC after Cantwell for all throw distances there.
Is this a big kid who hit the 65 feet?
He's not as big as he's not as tall as Hayden or Cantwellers, but he's still a big kid. Yeah,
Football player?
I believe so.
Baseball, the small schools are heading into sectionals, I believe, or some district championship games to wrap up, and then big week for the large schools on the baseball diamond.
Yeah, districts are all still going on. Every district championship, we got 2 today. Every 1 through 4 district championship locally is then otherwise tomorrow. And then, yeah, you've got this week 3 days. The big classes are playing, and on Friday they both finish up at Willard and Nixa. You're looking at probably one of the best district championship games of the entire week happens at Marionville tonight. 26-1-1 Purdy versus Miller, that's 15-8. Mm-hmm. Purdy's beaten Miller twice, but Miller has not thrown Jace Wilkinson, the Mizzou commit, against Purdy yet, and he will be throwing tonight. He threw an inning, struck out 3 on Saturday, but his pitch count should be reset after the couple days. So you've got a really, really good matchup going on at Marionville tonight.
Chris, when it comes down to district champions, do all of the classes have sectionals?
No, classes 1 through 4 do sectionals and quarterfinals. Classes 5 and 6, they go straight to the quarterfinal, but they play a 3-game series.
Okay.
And they do that not this weekend, but next weekend. They'll play a 3-game series. They'll play 1 game on Friday and then 2 on Saturday.
Going to be a fun day down at Ozark tomorrow with the 4 games set up there. It's kind of like the basketball districts when you got the large schools and they all come together in one night. But 11 a.m. Glendale Republic, the 1 versus the 8. Ozark and Joplin at 1:30 in the 4-5 game. Number 2 seed Nixa against 7 Branson at 4 o'clock. And then Kickapoo and Neosho, the 3-6 game at 6:30. The Neosho kid going to Arkansas, did he ever make it back or not?
I haven't seen him in a pitching result since the first game of the year. So I'm going to guess he's not coming back for this. With an arm like that, you generally don't risk it. I could be wrong, but he hasn't thrown, according to their game changer, he hasn't pitched since game 1.
Did the seeds there surprise you at all? And if we pinned you down on making a pick, who do you think comes out of it?
The seeds, it was tough to say. I thought Ozark being the host and having wins over a couple of those teams ahead of them would have been a little bit higher. And as for a pick, gosh, I legitimately don't know. I mean, you're looking at that 4-5 matchup, for example. Joplin has wins over Ozark, Kickapoo, and Nixa. And Brecken Green is one of the best high school pitchers in Southwest Missouri. And so Ozark's going to come right out and have to face one of the best arms you're going to see all year. And the team that Joplin also, if you remember, I think they won as a 5 seed out of this district last year. I really think any of those top 5 could come out and win. It'll be a really great matchup. Like I said, Ozark versus Joplin. You got Ryland Sutton, who's got an Ole Miss commit for Ozark, 11 home runs this year so far. If Nixa Kickapoo comes to pass, that's a really fun matchup. And, it just depends on who deploys their pitching when. And everybody's kind of got an ace, and when are you going to throw that ace? And it's always interesting to see how these teams navigate 3 games in essentially 4 or 5 days.
And I think tomorrow's forecast is nasty, worse than today. Can rain affect pitching plans and help teams, or they just spread it back out the way it was? What is the rule on how often and how many innings they can use a pitcher?
Well, it's all about pitches. And so rain, yes, it can affect it. And I specifically know this because when they first put in the pitch count rule, Skyline was playing in the state tournament. Clouds looked terrible. It looked rough. They came out, they played the first inning, and then we all knew it was going to get called. So Skyline had their ace, their all-state pitcher, Trevor Russell, on the mound. He comes out for the second inning and throws, and they call the game. He ends up 2 pitches over the pitch limit. It is a per-day thing. So the other guy was under the pitch limit. They got to use their all-state pitcher for 115 pitches because since he stayed under the number, he got to throw again the next day. Skyline lost there. So the rule there is you get a certain amount of pitches in the day. If the game gets called halfway through and you're over the pitches, your guy's burned. So you really have to decide whether when we start, are we finishing this? And if we use our ace right now, are these guys going to open up and we lose them for the next day?
Do you think some of these schools hire Ron Hurst as a personal consultant after his retirement for baseball weather and pitching, kind of a pitching assistant with the weather degree?
It'd be good to have. I mean, what you do have working for you now is turf. that facility up back then was a dirt field, so they couldn't play it. But you can sit there and fight, and it's going to pass eventually and say, we're getting out here on this turf field and playing, and I'm using my guys' pitches.
You almost need a chess grandmaster in that. I'll take your rook here if you move your pawn, and say, hey, it's very complicated.
It's a chess game. That's that's what they've called for years there, and for a reason. Parker,